Hi everyone, I will show you how to apply the marker thread technique to mark the central double decrease in Sunweavers shawl, but you can apply this technique to any projects that requires marking the central double decrease. This is a good alternative to stitch markers, and I will explain you why. As we know, the central double decrease consists of 3 stitches. If we put the stitch markers on both sides of the very central stitch of the central double decrease, it means on each right side row we have to move this stitch marker 1 stitch back and this stitch marker 1 stitch forward to complete our central double decrease. Since we have to do it on every right side row, it will considerably slow down the knitting process. And there is a technique called marker thread technique, which is much easier and for which you need only scrap yarn. Now please let me remove the stitch markers which were placed here just to explain you why we are not using them, and I will show you this marker thread technique. For marker thread technique, you will need only the scrap yarn around 60 to 70 centimeters long, which would be 23 to 27 inches, in contrasting color. You don't want to have it any longer because then it's gonna start tangling with your working yarn. Now let me do a couple of stitches to the central double decrease. So we have reached the central double decrease. We use this scrap yarn before we complete the central double decrease. We use this scrap yarn to just put it over and to the back of the work and let it be, and we work our central double decrease as usual, like so. Now you can see that this has created a little loop here around the central double decrease. And now we will finish this right side row and I will show you how we mark the central double decrease, central spine, on the wrong side of the work. As I said, you can use any kind of scrap yarn. Don't make it too long. It will be really hard to handle even if you're working only with one color for your main project. But it also means that you will need maybe 2 or 3 scrap yarns throughout your project, depending how big is your project, to mark these central double decreases. So now the pattern will most probably say work certain amount of pattern, a certain amount of stitches until the central spine. How do we see the central spine on the wrong side of the row? This will be marked with this marker thread, and 1 stitch before marker thread is that central spine. So here again we just take this marker thread and gently put it over and let it be. We work our purl 1 central spine stitch and continue in the pattern until the end of the row. And when we finish, I will show you how it looks on both sides. Okay, so here we are. Basically, the marker thread technique is twisting this scrap yarn around the central decrease as we go. So that's how it looks on the right side, and that's how it looks on the wrong side. Now when you're done with your project and you want to remove it and block it, you just pull it gently out from its place and you have the central double decrease, central spine of the shawl emerging. Yep. And that's how it looks on the right side. That's how it looks on the left side, wrong side. And you have completed your central double decrease marking with the scrap yarn.